It's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's start with The View. And here's Sunny Hostin repeating nonsense put forward by Democrat activists. She states it like it's verified fact. And then Whoopi Goldberg jumps in with another fib claiming Donald Trump is using an auto pen just like Joe Biden did. Now, the fun really begins when they're asked to correct that lie.
The Trump family has made about $1.8 billion profited off of this government. And he said that Joe Biden didn't know who he was pardoning using an auto pen. How come you don't know who this guy is?
Because he used an auto pen. The meetings that they're supposed to go to when they're listening to, what the hell, what?
I love when Sonny passes notes.
We don't know if Trump used an auto pen to part. It was a joke.
Yes. We don't know if Trump used an auto pen to part.
Come on.
But we do know that he didn't know who that crypto guy was.
It was a joke. It wasn't funny. It wasn't said in jest. It followed a bunch of other BS. But apparently, folks, we just missed the nuance. So much nuance on The View. But here is something different for The View. They actually had a conservative woman, yes, a real conservative woman, on with the panel. They tried their best to get Marjorie Taylor Greene to criticise Donald Trump.
He's worse, sorry, you know that. He's still your favorite president. He goes against everything you just said.
Look, I like Donald Trump. I fought for him to win. I'm very thankful for the secure border. I'm friends with Laken Riley's mother. And we saw I serve on Homeland Security. Over 12 million people came across our border. Over 2 million gotaways. These are terrorists, cartels, all kinds of criminals. We don't know where they are in this country, and that affects all of us.
It was a very pleasant chat. Everyone was on their best behaviour, not so much a robust debate as polite niceties. But at least Joy Behar admits here that any Republican or Conservative coming on The View is going to be in a 5 versus 1 battle.
A lot of people wanted me to come on the show and say nasty things and you know, all of us to fight. They wanted all of us to fight.
Thank you for not doing that.
Oh, my goodness, no. I didn't want to do that.
It's like 5 to 1.
She could handle it, but she didn't want to.
Now to a woman losing it for legitimate reasons. If she's a lefty, hopefully she changes her mind after this experience. Here is singer Tish Hyman's reaction after she had her Gold's Gym membership terminated because she dared speak out about a male body in the women's change room. Gotta say, I love this woman.
Gold's Gym! Men! Grown men with big in the women's locker room! And that's why I'm getting kicked out, and I want to make sure the girls know! Everybody saw that man in the locker room. No one's saying, and I'm done with it. It's stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
She's right. It is dangerous. She's confronted with a male body in the women's change rooms, a male body that is watching her naked body. She didn't consent to being naked in front of that man, and yet she's the one whose gym membership is terminated. Let's have a look at that clash with Tish and that dude, and then she explains why she was so upset.
Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that. Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there in boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed a sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like I don't want to deal with this.
She may be a woman, she may be black and a lesbian, but the trans activists always trump other minority groups when it comes to the victimhood stakes. Shame on Gold's Gym for allowing that to happen and for punishing the victim. But that's Gavin Newsom's California for you. And talking about Gavin, Here is what can only be described as weapon-grade chutzpah.
Nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
Incredible to hear that from a habitual liar, one of the very worst in politics. And here's a very handy trick to figure out when Gavin Newsom is lying. It's when his lips are moving. Now, remember Linda Sarsour, the Islamist activist who was celebrated and elevated by the Obama administration, the woman who led the Women's March. Remember that? That was hilarious, given her support for Sharia law. Well, she's back and she's ready to spill the beans on Zohran Mamdani's rise to power. Take note, America.
The story is not just, that it's random that Zohran ascended to this place. It is our Muslim American communities. And I'll also say that it's Muslim money. The PACs that have supported Zohran, or a particular PAC that has supported Zohran, is probably over 80% of Muslim American donors in this country, high net donors, grassroots donors. And I want to make the point that the Unity and Justice Fund PAC, which is the CARE Super PAC, was the largest institutional donor to the pro-Zohran PAC in New York.
Joining me now is filmmaker and commentator Ami Horowitz. Ami, does that surprise you at all?
Sorry. Listen,
You've hit
what
the bottle already.
I have to. I've been drinking all night. I can't do anything about Zohran Mamdani. Mr. Cardamom is now his honor. He is now the sitting mayor of New York City. This is what it's come to. No surprise, but am I no surprise that he's mayor? Am I surprised about the revelation about Islamic money from Linda Sarsour? No, I'm not. No, people have been talking about that for a long time now. Understand, this is not just Muslim people donating. I've got no issue with that whatsoever, as long as they're legally allowed to do it. But this PAC was created and is controlled by CARE, right? The Council on American-Islamic Relations. And what CARE is a terrorist supporting organization. That's just not me saying hyperbole. They're an unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land Foundation lawsuit and terrorism fund. The U.S. federal government prosecuted them for funding Hamas. CARE was an unindicted co-conspirator. Now they are the largest funder of the Mamdani campaign. Are we shocked? No, Mamdani rapped about this, right? In his awful, terrible raps. He rapped about the Holy Land Five, okay? Now, understand where this is all coming from, right? He is an Islamist. He is a third worlder. What I mean by that is he looks to elevate the third world. He wants us to emulate the third world, right? He looks at the West, at the U.S. in particular, but the West in general, as the people who have destroyed Africa and Asia, right? That we are colonizers. They are in the situation they are now because of us, right? That's the perspective he comes in, and that's what he's going to bring to New York City. He wants to make New York City like the third world. But what can we expect a guy who eats a burrito with a knife and fork, but eats his rice with his hand, right? Have we forgotten about that? He is the ultimate guy. Did you hear his code switching, right? I mean, he's the ultimate code switcher. Democrats are known for that, when he just pops into this like Southeast Asian British slang, Ali G impersonation. It's so gross. It's so fake. Yet, look, you know the old saying, you bought the ticket, you take the ride. That's exactly what's happening in New York. Look, I knew it was a problem when a lot of the exit polls were fascinating. And one of them was, they asked New Yorkers, is Israel a major issue in your vote? 38% said it was. That Israel is part of the importance for them on how New York City is governed. Once I saw the majority of people thought that, I go, this is going to be a problem for us. And it was. The man is now going to be the mayor of New York City.